All right, BS Show, Season 5, Episode 6. Sean Gancars, Justin Chasmar, Adam Tynan. Boys, we had a losing week. It's going to happen. If we win all fucking 18 weeks, well, we're probably getting paid a little more to actually do this, but it don't happen like that. But with that said, we're still 19-17 on the season. You guys both with winning records. I said it last week. I got to follow up this week. I'm still the one holding us down. Hopefully I can figure it out, but getting getting into October here, football season. Said it last week too. We're starting to get a feel for these teams, getting even more of a feel now. The NFL season is absolutely wild to start. How we doing, boys? Who's impressing you? Who's not? Adam,
Yeah,
Josh,
no,
get out your Bears.
I mean, I don't think you should be too proud of that. The Bears are not a very good football team, but take the win where you can get it. I mean, yeah, football's been great. I think I love about this year is, yes, the Eagles are the only undefeated team, right? But I think that there's really nowhere near a clear-cut number one in either league, which is fun because that means the playoffs should just be a great time. Even the Bills are banged up. A lot of people love them, and the Ravens, their pass defense seems to be struggling quite a bit. No offense there, Chazzy, but I think that a lot of teams will see if they can figure it out. But I am excited to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm with AT. I think it's tough to bet because there's a lot of uncertainty every week and upsets and things like that. But when it comes to the playoff time, I think it's going to be pretty wild because both sides of the conference. I mean, obviously, you probably give the Bills the leg up in the AFC, but I mean, the Ravens outplayed them like crazy in the first half and then just got outplayed in the second half. So, I think it's really going to be a fun playoff regardless. And I know we're only a few weeks into the season, but if it continues this way, these playoffs come January are going to be really fun.
Yeah, it's like I said, an absolute wild start. I don't know what to expect this season, Adam. I think you hit it on the head. I don't think there's a clear cut favorite in almost any conference. And if I do want to go out on a limb, which I think we've been saying it too, we said if Jalen Hurts can get it going for Philly, like they have a great roster, they're a team to watch out for. I think Philly 4-0 in the NFC may actually be a team to look out for, especially in that conference right now. They look great. We'll obviously get into their game when we do, probably talk more about them. But as always, Chaz, we're going to you. We're going to Gonzo for Thursday night football here. Broncos 3.5-point favorites at home against the Colts, over under 42.5. Two teams that I think are disappointment starts this season. I think both these teams expected better starts. I think we expected to see more from both these teams. And, well, what's Gonzo saying?
Yeah, Gonzo, tough loss last week, but like we've said on this show over the years, he has never lost two in a row. So reputation is back on the line, and he's going with the home team here. He's laying the 3.5 with Denver.
Wow.
I actually kind of like it. I don't trust the Colts offense right now to be able to put up points. And the one thing, Denver did lose to the Raiders last week, which I think we all had happening. But Denver's offense did look definitely the best it's looked all year, which wasn't hard to do. Defense played a little worse, but I expect primetime home in Denver. I expect the defense to come ready to play. Expect the rest to keep the momentum up and play better with that offense. No Javonte Williams hurts, but they have Melvin Gordon. They just signed Latavius Murray, and then you flip it on the Colts side. No Jonathan Taylor is a huge blow, and Matt Ryan just simply hasn't played well enough to win this game simply with his arm. So give me Denver at home here to win and cover. Ugly game. I'll go 21-17.
Go ahead, Gank. You want to take it next?
Yeah, I don't think me and Gonzo have ever agreed. I do think Denver's, when it's all said and done, I do think Denver is going to find a way to win this game at home. As much as I love my Colts this year, as much as I'm not ready to sell out, I do think Denver will find a way to win this at home. Even if it takes a Hackett, calling a 63-yard field goal at the buzzer to win it. At least he's at home in Denver in that air where McManus, we know, can drill that field goal, get the job done. But with that said, that hook scares me in a game like this. I mean, like I said, we're talking about two teams that I mentioned before that disappointing starts to this season. are really looking to get something going. I mean, it's still very early. Neither of these teams out. Broncos at 2-2, one game behind the Chiefs at 3-1 here. Colts at 1-2-1, a half game behind the Titans and Jaguars and stuff like that. Yeah, they have losses to them, but yeah, they're going to see these teams again and everything. So very early, a lot to see. I think we got two desperate teams here that are going to come out firing Thursday night, and it's very interesting and intriguing game to watch. One of these teams need to figure something out, but I hate to go against Gondo, and I think I've done it every week. I'm gonna do it again. I do agree that the Broncos win. Like I said, I think they'll find a way at home. I think Hackett, after that bonehead decision week 1, asking fucking McManus to kick that field goal from a mile away in Seattle. He's in that same situation in the Denver air here. McManus can drill that field goal. I wouldn't be surprised if something similar to that happens. Maybe not that long, but a 50-plus yarder at the buzzer for Denver seems possible for them, and we know he can make it in the Denver air. So I will take Denver to win this game. I'll take the Colts to cover, though. I'll go Broncos 24-21. And Chaz, you said about Matt Ryan as a fantasy owner, yeah, I do think he needs to figure out his arm, get things going, but it's also a roller coaster season. Guy had 2 games this year where he's thrown for 350 plus and 2 absolute duds. So we'll see what he can do.
Yeah, I mean, this hook scares me because I think a lot of people and gamblers are going to say what Gank is at, which take that hook. If I got Gonzo, he's a smart gambler. I'm taking him to cover here. And I do think that both offenses do look a little better. I like some points here, but the Colts just keep turning the ball over. And I don't think this is the get right game for them. Short week in Denver, tough place to play. Russ at home. I think the Broncos offense carries the momentum, like Chazzy said, coming into this week. I think it's a good game. It's a close one. Indy just comes up short, and Denver's defense makes a big stop towards the end. Denver just covers here, and I think a lot of people lose money on Colts plus 3.5. I'm going to go 24-20 Denver.
Wow. Well, I tell you right now, when I bet this game tomorrow and not have the Colts at plus 3.5, I'll gladly buy that up. Probably to the plus 7.5, get the touchdown. Buy that over down to maybe just under 38, 37.5. Do that little parlay. That's my play tomorrow. But yeah, I think all around the spread, the total, I think it's toss up, and it's going to be an interesting one. Two teams really desperate trying to figure it out. But yeah, I'll take the home team by a field goal. All right, let's get into Sundays. Back to London here. My Giants facing the Packers. Packers 7.5-point favorites, over under 40.5. Thankfully for me, this is Giants road game, not at Lambeau Field. I do love to see that. And one thing I need to bring up is my thing with Daniel Jones is we talked about it. We have our text group chat. I balled up. I'm not here to sit here and say that Daniel Jones is the Giants guy is the future. I am not here to try to sell you and tell you that. But one thing that I think does say something is the Giants sitting here at 3-1. The fact that I'm concerned about Daniel Jones being healthy and being able to play, thinking that matters, does have to say a little bit something about him. He has still not been this great guy, but he has looked much better. We're starting to see the potential, what he can do in this Brian Daboll offense. So I'm really hoping Daniel Jones plays. I've seen videos on Twitter, like I said, for their practice today, where it looks like he's moving pretty good. I would kind of bet right now that he does play. So with that said, I'm going to assume he is going to play, and I'm going to take the Giants to cover 7.5 here. I don't think they have it to beat the Packers. Aaron Rodgers feels due to he hasn't had a big Aaron Rodgers type game yet this year, and this may be the game to do it. People looking at fantasy numbers, you want to talk that. They see the Giants defense. They see their numbers. The Giants defense, against quarterbacks, against wide receivers, look like a terrible matchup for fantasy players and receivers. But with that said, the Giants also, no offense at them, play teams like your Bears that can't throw the football. Play teams like the Titans that already give it to Derrick Henry. Have played, Dallas with Cooper Rush, the only guy to really actually throw as many passes as he did, and he kind of had success against the Giants doing that. So I think the door's open for Aaron Rodgers. Kind of have out his breakout game for this season, get this offense going. But I do think the Giants can do enough to keep it within this touchdown plus 7.5. So I'm going to take the Packers to win here. I'm going to take the Giants to cover. It may even be backdoor. I'm not sure, but I'll take the pack in London here. Give me the Giants to cover on the hook at the plus 7.5. I'll go 24-17 pack.
Yeah, Gag. I mean, I agree with a lot of what you said, and you can just see what coaching does. And I mean, first of all, whoever's decision it was to hire the old Ravens D coordinator, that's a great decision because that dude just schemes it up. I mean, I watched him play, and he just knew exactly what to do against inexperienced Bears offense. Not that it's saying much, but I mean, the defense was the reason they won that game last week. And, you know, Dable just has the guys believing. I'm a big believer in momentum. The Giants believe they can be in this game and possibly win it, so they're going to keep it close enough. I agree with you. Being in London is huge for the G-men as well. You know, Saquon looks like a completely different running back than he has the past couple of years. So you just got to give credit where credit is due. I think they keep it close. Packers haven't blown many people out this year, even against the Bears. They let them hang around. So I think the Giants will cover. The Packers will win. But, you know, G-men are respectable this year from what it looks like. So I'm going to go 24-20 Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. We're all going to ride the Giants. Plus 7.5 in London. And I mean, listen, the Packers almost just lost the game to Bailey Zappi and the Patriots in Lambeau. So, I mean, you can't really, you know, have much momentum going into London if you're the Packers. I mean, you escape that. So, I mean, Gank, you made a good point, though. The teams that the Giants have faced when it comes to their defense, I mean, the one other team you didn't say is the Panthers. Like, they don't throw the ball either. I mean, you got Baker Mayfield. So, like, this is going to be their test. And, I mean, I think the Packers are going to win this game, obviously. I think Rodgers will play pretty good. But like you said, the Packers really don't blow anyone out. I mean, they've had a shot against the Bears at home, didn't do it. And I mean, last week against the Patriots, didn't do it. So I'm going to take the Giants to cover here in London. I hope it's a big Saquon game for my fantasy teams, but let's go Packers win, Giants cover. I actually like the points. I'm going to go 27-24 Packers.
Wow. I love that type of game. That means I'm sitting on the edge of my seat at the fucking Old Causeway there. Oh, man. Saquon feels matchup proof. And Adam, if I'm not mistaken, didn't David Montgomery run all over the Packers?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He does.
Oh,
he does
you can run on the Packers. I mean, Damian Harris ran on the Packers last week.
Yeah, no, that's not the issue. Yeah.
It's got to be scary if you're a Packers fan there. Like, I'm just saying, if you're a Packers fan coming into this and you get ran on, I could be wrong. I believe the NFL leading rushers right now are Nick Chubb 1 and Saquon 2. So
CPAT 4. Cordell Patterson was at 4 before he got hurt.
So he's on the IR.
Tyler Algier, baby. All right. Let's get into the 1 o'clock swing here. Seattle heading to New Orleans, Saints 5.5 point favorites at home, over under 45.5. And Seattle, to me, at 2-2 early in the season, so that's actually one of the surprises to me. I wrote up my article before the season. I think I gave Seattle 2, maybe 3 wins most for the year. So the fact that they're at 2-2 already says a lot. And I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to take them to cover the 5.5, even on the road going to New Orleans here. And this Seattle team, I don't know what it is. Geno Smith guy. I love Geno Smith, West Virginia guy. I'm not going to lie. Him as his starter going into the season, I wanted nothing to do with that. I thought I'd seen enough of him in the NFL to know that he ain't really doing anything good or right to be an NFL quarterback. But, hey, he's shown some flashes through the first month of the season so far. And while New Orleans defense ain't an easy task, New Orleans offense has just not been pretty either. To be honest, the best it's looked was this past Sunday in London with Andy Dalton at quarterback. So kind of intriguing to see what happens there. And I think New Orleans is key. Probably saying this as a fantasy owner too, is and hopefully he's playing healthy, is when your offense is this bad once you get Kamara back, maybe you get your best playmaker involved more because they need to do a change for something. And Seattle's defense has been brutal, and that could be a difference if he's healthy, if he plays. That bites me. But with that said, I'm going to make this bet based off the fact that I don't trust New Orleans' offense enough. Seattle's offense has been a little bit better than I thought it would be coming into the season, and that makes 5.5 seem like a pretty big number where I think Seattle could kind of score some points and do enough to keep that line within this number. I'm not expecting many points in this game, but I'm expecting enough from Seattle to cover 5.5 here. Because the Saints offense has just been far from impressive for me. Saints defense will do enough to get them to win at home, but not to cover here. Give me the Saints. I'll go 17-14.
Wow.
Thriller.
17-14.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, this is a stay away game for me. These are two teams I have not a feel on. My Saints have been letting me down these past couple of weeks. My gut tells me they have a get right game, but that's concerning. I think I'm a little biased. So I do think that the Saints are going to win this game. Seattle has played well. You got to give credit where credit is due. And they've kept games close. Gino's playing well, Gank, WU pride. But I just feel like in New Orleans is a tough place to play, and the Saints kind of need one. The Seahawks play with chip on their shoulder, and I respect it, but it just feels like one of those get right games for the Saints. They find a way to win. I like the Seahawks to cover. I think 5.5 is too much for these kind of teams, but I think they come away with the win. Seattle covers. I'm going to go 24-20 New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I'm going to take the Saints, and you're not, Adam. But I'm definitely taking the Saints here to cover. I think the Seahawks, yes, they've surprised, but the last 2 weeks they played the Falcons and the Lions, and I think we have all seen that the Lions' defense is probably the worst in the NFL.
Oh my God, terrible!
I mean, if they had an average defense, they might be undefeated. I mean, they all they do is score, and they still somehow lose. But I mean, the Saints going into New Orleans, especially off a tough loss that they just had in London with the double doink. I think the Saints here are just going to get right. I don't know if Jameis is playing. I don't know if Kamara's playing, if Michael Thomas is playing. But honestly, even if they're all out, I still like the Saints here because I don't think the Seahawks are going to be able to score. They scored, 24 total points in their first two games, the Seahawks, including 7 in San Fran. Another tough test here in New Orleans. So solely off the Saints defense at home, I'm going to take the Saints here 23-10.
Wow. Bad day for Gino.
Bad day.
We got, me and Chaz have 31 and fucking 33 points. So, I'm not gonna lie, I always take my notes as we go along, and to say the under in this one is on my list when I'm picking first for the locks. It's we could get back to that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right. Let's get to a much bigger spread here. Biggest spread of the season, I believe, right now. And shocking to say this, the Pittsburgh Steelers are 14-point underdogs. They are heading to Buffalo here. Over under 46.5. And we know things with big spreads in the NFL. I'm going to say this right off the bat. NFL's been wild this year. And if I get any team at 14 points, I'm probably going to take it right now. And I am going to take that with the Steelers. As good and as dominant as Buffalo has been at times during the season, there has been some holes on that defense, especially since we've seen some injuries to the secondary safety position at Micah Hyde. Maybe Kenny Pickett can bring more to this offense for the Steelers, but the Steelers did beat this Bills team last year. Much different Steelers team. They did have a healthy TJ Watt. Buffalo probably doesn't forget that. They are probably coming out for a redemption. Like, everything screams that the Bills are to cover this 14 points, and it's kind of the reason why I'm going to take the Steelers to cover the 14. I still think they have enough on defense to keep it in it. It's been proving me wrong all year. Whenever I talk about the Steelers defense, they do seem to be night and day different without TJ Watt. They definitely need him. I mean, he is arguably the best defensive player in football, but 14 points is still a lot for this Steelers team, especially Mike Tomlin's the coach. I can't pick against that. Give me the Steelers to cover. Bills obviously win this one at home here. I'll go 27-14 Buffalo.
Yeah, I don't really get this line. I know the Steelers have been struggling, just lost to the Jets, but I feel like their games are at least close. And this Mike Tomlin, I'm shocked that he hasn't found a way to turn around yet. Maybe Pickett is that spark. But it's something's a little off in Pittsburgh. I guess TJ Watt is just really the issue. That guy is just that good. The point where the defense is completely different without him, which I'm not surprised about. But I'm going to take the Steelers to cover here. Bills do blow out teams at home. I've seen that over the years in this new, in the Josh Allen era. But I just feel like the Steelers got enough in them to cover. I was completely off about them not winning last week. I thought they were going to lock the win, but I'm not going to take the Steelers to lose by over 2 touchdowns. It's just not what I think will happen to them. I think Pickett gives them a little bit of energy. They keep the game close. I think they do lose, but it's within a touchdown. And, Josh Allen maybe scores a late touchdown to give it to him. But, I think they got more fight than that. So I'm going to go 27-20 Buffalo.
Yeah, this one's tough, but I'm actually gonna lay it with Buffalo. And usually these huge lines, and I know we got some big lines coming up, but I usually like to take the points. But I mean, what I saw from the Steelers last week was, utterly pathetic. Would they blow a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter to the Jets, and they made Zach Wilson look like the Patrick Mahomes and the Josh Allens. They let him go right down the field, and obviously no Watt. I'm pretty sure Minka's hurt now. And Kenny Pickett's first start on the road in Buffalo, probably not going to be a great spot for him. On an offense that's struggling to score and a defense that's not playing well, I just think it's a bad mixture for, going to the team that we said is probably the best team in the NFL, or at least in the AFC right now. So I don't think they're going to be able to keep up scoring wise. So I'll take the Bills 31-10.
Ooh.
But that could happen very easily too.
Yeah, no, it could. It could. The Bills' offense can just explode at any time.
It's so hard for me to actually commit putting money on spreads when they're that big.
Oh yeah, I'm not actually going to touch that, but for the sake of this, I would take Buffalo.
What was the one a couple of years ago when it was like a 17-point spread? Was that like a Vikings Lions game?
It was Vikings Bills, Josh Allen's rookie year, and Josh Allen went into Minnesota and beat them.
Yeah.
Wow.
As 17.5-point underdogs.
One of the better episodes recorded the week after talking about that one. I just don't forget it because of the show and talking about it.
Yeah, Chaz, I feel like I've never seen you even lay those points before, honestly. You are
I never do.
That's never does.
I never do.
Never.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right. Like I said, we've got 2 straight weeks with you're lucky if you can find a spread that involved a touchdown on it. And now we're kind of on a roll with them because Adam, we're on your Bears game here. We got a touchdown spread. We're actually doing back-to-back games here where the spread's at 7, pretty much at 7 points even. Adam, your Bears 7 points underdog heading into this Minnesota Vikings team. Over under 44. Can the Bears keep it within a touchdown?
Yeah, this is such a push spread to me. I won't take it because I know how we feel about pushes on this show, which I respect. I am going to take the Bears to cover this and not obviously win, just because I feel like over the years when I've watched the Bears play the Vikings, it's usually a very close game and they do keep it close. I will say the Bears rush defense is not what it used to be, and Dalvin Cook could have a day if the Vikings decide to do that. But I don't know. For some reason, Kirk Cousins doesn't play well against the Bears. It's just not usually what has happened in his career. And I think that he struggles a little bit here, but I'm not going to go out and lock the Bears this week because they could easily lose by 2 touchdowns because they just don't have the offensive firepower to keep up with some of these teams. So I think that their defense keeps it close. I do think it's a low scoring game. But the Vikings are going to win, and the Bears will find a way to cover the spread, maybe even backdoor, but I'm going to go 23-17 Minnesota.
Yeah, I got mixed emotions, especially with this touchdown spread, because, well, we've all said it. Adam, you've really said it. And I've heard it from you about how bad the Giants' offensive line is, but do you realize how fucking bad your offensive line is? I know you do, but the Giants Giants have been getting quarterback pressure, but they haven't been getting sacks. They had fucking 6 against the Bears last week. And
Dude, their offensive line is so bad. And the Giants have like first round picks and guys that are good. They're just
Yeah.
trying to put together. The Bears don't even have those guys. Like everyone on their line is like third round pick or later or something like that. They just don't have guys.
Yeah, because you trade your first round pick for a guy, you let throw the ball maybe 10 times a game. But
Well, with that offensive
that
line,
said,
you can't. Yeah.
here's why I'm mixed about it, though, because I want to say the Vikings actually have, when it comes to rushing the passer, as of right now, I think the Vikings have better and more experienced guys than the Giants. But at the same time, I feel like I've seen holes in the Vikings defense. I thought the Vikings defense would be better than what we've seen from them this year. I mean, Andy Dalton came in and found a way to fucking move the ball and put up points, especially when it mattered most in crunch time in the fourth quarter in that game in London last week, where the Vikings defense had no problem letting Andy Dalton get down the field and score. So I thought the Vikings defense was better than what they were. If the Giants got to Justin Fields 6 times last week for a sack, I would have told you that the Vikings would come in there and get it more. They could dominate this game, but I'm still not sold on the Vikings defense. And it's crazy because I'm going to risk that sack number. I've actually picked them up in multiple fantasy leagues thinking they're going to get the sack number. But if they're as bad as I think maybe they have looked to start the season, the Bears are going to do enough to keep within the 7 points. And maybe I'll roll the dice with that. I'm not expecting as high scoring of a game. I do think the Vikings will find a way to score some points, but Bears, maybe Justin Fields could do something against this defense. Maybe their defense is not as good as I think they are. So, Adam, I'm with you. I want to pick the push. I'm not going to do that for the people. So instead of giving the Vikings 24 points, we'll go mixed extra point or something. I'll give them 23. Vikings 23, Bears 17.
And so I'm riding solo again here. I feel like this is a common theme this week.
You don't see that a lot. Me and
I'm taking,
Gank.
yeah, I'm taking my Vikings again. I mean, I've said it every week, but I'm higher on them than a lot of people. And their defense has looked a little suspect over the last few weeks. But I mean, the Bears' offensive line is bad. And when you talk about the Vikings, I mean, you have Hunter and Zadarius Smith coming at them. I think they're going to be able to get 2 Fields. And I mean, when you look at that offense, especially in Minnesota, at 1:00, Minnesota is going to put up points. Kirk Cousins is going to play well. And I just simply think it just comes down to Chicago not being able to put up enough points. This game's in Chicago, probably different take here when it comes to the spread. But in Minnesota, especially like I said, at 1:00, you get good Kirk. He's not on national television, so he's going to play well. I just think he's going to put up points. I don't think the Bears are. So I'll take the Vikings to win and cover here. I'm going to go 27-13.
Get a job. It's funny. My dad texted me last week too. He's like, "Is this considered primetime Kirk during the Sunday morning game?" I'm like, "It's standalone Kirk, so you never know what you're gonna get." But
Yeah, no.
Shaz, I mean, it's becoming a topic, especially on this podcast. We're saying Kirk's playing 1:00 in a game against a team he's better than, so we'll probably get the explosive Vikings offense when it's all said and done. But
Yeah.
all right. AFC South battle here. Texans 7-point underdogs heading to Jacksonville. Over under 43.5. The Jags 2-game win streak, kind of short lived. Unfortunately, had to go to Philly. We knew that would be a tough one for them to go win, but they gave a fight. They went up 14-0 before blowing it. Chaz, I kind of want you to take this 1 second because the way I'm going to do this, I'm actually be pretty quick here. Me and Chaz for past couple of years had this thing with the Texans, and as much as I think the Jags are better and buy in, Chaz, I want you to tell me first if I'm wrong or not. I still can't sell against the Texans getting 7 points, especially in a divisional matchup. So I'm going to take the Texans to cover here. I think the Jags have shown enough that they're the better team. Will find a way to win at home. And I wouldn't be surprised if this game's actually a little higher in scoring than most people think. The over-unders have 43.5. I'll take this one to go over. Give me the Jaguars here, 27-21.
Yeah, gang, I'm right there with you. I mean, I'm 100% taking the Texans here to cover. Divisional game. And when I just look at this, I'm just like the Jaguars laying 7 points. I mean, we haven't seen this in a long, long time. I mean, the Texans just seem to keep games close, even games that they get blown out in the first half, and you're like, oh, this game's going to be ugly. That offense just puts up points in the second half. Like I can't even remember how many games in the last just few years they've been getting blown out at halftime. And I mean, even last week against Chargers, they were getting blown out. They lost by 10.
They were
but-
down. That game, that was a game that went like 28-0 to 28-25, right?
Yeah, I know. Like last year, they were playing the Rams. They were out. Yeah, they were down 31-3, I think, and the
Yeah, I
game
remember
ended
that.
like 31-30 or something like that. Like
Yep.
they just come. They just hang around. It's usually backdoor covers and stuff like that. But I mean, for that reason, their offense can score points, and for that reason, I'm gonna take them to cover 7. I'm with you, Gank. I like the over. Give me the Texans to cover. I'll go 28-24 Jags.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be against you guys here. I do love the over as well. I circled it. Hopefully, it falls to me if Gank doesn't take it or whoever's in front of me. But I agree with the whole Texans thing. If this was in Houston, I would definitely agree with where you guys are at. But had the game not been a monsoon rain in Philly last week, the Jags could have easily won that game. And the Philly is a better team, don't get me wrong. But I just like what Doug Peterson's doing. And I like who they signed. I like what the Jags got. And I think offensively, they're just going to keep getting better. So I do see this being close. I could see the Texans covering, but I like the Jags to win by over a touchdown here. I just think offensively, they have a big day and they can't, and the Texans D can't really stop them. So that's kind of the issue. I think the Texans will put up points too, but I think the Jags just score a lot here and cover this spread. I'm going to go 30-20 Jacksonville.
Just remember, that's the first game we disagree on so far, Adam.
I have a feeling that's going to end up being our bet.
It might be.
It definitely might be.
We got
AT is a Jag backer this year because he's got Lawrence.
That's all it is, yeah.
AT's a big Doug Peterson guy, I think.
Yeah,
I do.
I love Dougie P too. He's a great coach.
He is a very
Yeah.
good coach, yes. But
I am a big Dougie P guy. I mean, I've just seen him out scheme a lot of people with not as much talent.
yes. All right, Adam, speaking of your teams here, your Finns.
I think.
2 years ago.
3-point road favorites, Teddy Bridgewater getting the start for Tua. Boys, as we go in this game too, because I'm curious on this. Is Tua the better option or is Teddy the better option than Tua? Don't be scared to throw that out there. Explain this game. Over under 45.5. Adam, your Finns. So they cover 3 on the road here against the Jets.
Yeah, this spread I don't love either way because I think it's two unpredictable teams. Finns do have a long week, and I think Teddy's a serviceable quarterback. I like the over a lot. I see two not great defenses, and I mean Zach Wilson's going to sling it. He might throw a couple picks, but I feel like he'll have a couple touchdowns as well. And I don't think the Finns are a very good defense to start. So I'm going to take the Finns to cover this one. The Jets are playing with momentum. It's a big win in Pittsburgh, but I gotta say I'm buying their offense and their weapons. And I think they're going to win this game. I think they're going to cover. I don't think it'll be a huge cover, but I do see it as at least a push, if not a win for the Finns. So I'm going to ride with them. I do like the over, but I am going to go 28-24 Miami.
Yeah. First off, I'm with you on the over thing here. When me, Jack, and Dan did the other podcast, we kind of talked about this game as daily fantasy plays because I think there could be a lot more points than you expect. That said, in terms of the spread, this is one of those games I want to take the push, but I'll go with you. I'll take Miami to cover here. Jalen Waddle missing practice today ain't ideal, but he's kind of been dealing with this injury. I think he'll be fine. And I'm one of those people that thinks Teddy Bridgewater is a better option than Tua right now, too. And I think that was kind of shown last week. Like Tua threw a deep ball to Tyreek Hill that couldn't have been more underthrown and just an easy interception. And not for nothing, 2-3 drives later into the second half when Teddy was there, he fucking hit Tyreek Hill on that same play, same throw. No problem hitting them. And when you got those speedster receivers like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, I really almost think Teddy Bridgewater is a better guy for this offense. I mean, when it's all said and done, once Tua is healthy, he will obviously be back in and being the guy. But give me Teddy when he's there. I think he's a better option. Because of that, I'll take the Dolphins to win and cover here. Um, Jets kind of on a roller coaster season, 2-2. Chaz, I don't know how you feel about this. Jets played 4 games against the AFC North, and they're 2-2 right now to start the season, which is weird to say. Shows that they could beat some teams and everything. I think rather impressive, but a lot of inconsistency from that team to start. And I think the Dolphins are in a better spot. So, yeah, Adam, I'm with you. I expect points. I like the over here. Dolphins 28-24.
Yeah, we're gonna be different once again here. I'm gonna take the Jets. I'm gonna take them to win this game. I think
Jazzy's believing in the Jets.
I think momentum's a real. No, I just think momentum's a real thing, and the way they beat Pittsburgh last week was pretty impressive. You score with like 2 seconds left to win the game after being down 10 points on the road. Zach Wilson's first start. I mean, I think it's got that locker room believing in Zach Wilson and that team. I mean, we talked about it pre-show too. Brees Hall's coming onto the scene. They got their young receivers all playing pretty well. And I mean, what I saw week 1 against the Ravens, the offense when it comes to the Jets defense looked pretty damn good. And I mean, they only gave up 10 points last week to the Steelers. I know the Steelers offense ain't very good, but their defense is pretty good. And I think come back home, it is a long week for Miami. No Tua. I mean, Tua and Teddy, that situation is a little tough. I mean, I would still probably say Tua. So I think it does hurt them. But I feel like, a team that we were kind of all fading in the beginning of the year, the Dolphins, this might be, a game that everyone is taking them to bounce back on. And in reality, I think it's closer than people may seem. So give me the Jets to win this one. And, maybe one of the upsets of the week, even though it's a 3-point line. Give me the Jets 27-24.
You have to tell Matty G you got the Jets.
Oh,
Get up,
no,
baby.
we don't hear it. All right. Chaz, let me go back to you first here because your Falcons are covering Rasheen, and now they are getting 9 points on the road in Tampa, over under 48.5. Can the Falcons keep their covering streak going?
Yeah, I mean, I will say I'm 3-1 Falcon games this year. Not familiar territory for me, but I think this is a game they get murdered. I think the Bucs are going to mop them up. I think the Bucs. I mean, they lost 2 straight games to the Packers and the Chiefs, both at home, and now they get the Falcons coming into town. And I mean, Marcus Mariota last week played really bad, and I think it's going to continue this week on a Bucs defense that just got absolutely torched by Patrick Mahomes. We always say about like get right games with the offense. This is the get right game for the defense. And I mean, I expect the Bucs offense to be, full go here. They got Mike Evans. I mean, Godwin is, I would expect full go. He looked pretty healthy last week. You get Julio. This is a must win for the Bucs. I would pretty much say. And I think they do it in big fashion. So give me the Bucs. Falcons, I'm sorry you're not going to be undefeated against the spread any longer. Let's go Bucs 33-17.
Yeah, Chaz.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I got this quick because
Go ahead.
my score is a little ridiculous here, but I agree with Chaz. I think this Bucs defense, after Pat Mahomes put up a ton of points against them last week, is pretty upset and bummed against that. I think they're come out here and prove something, and not to mention the Bucs offense that's been pretty stale to start the season. Finally kind of got going, putting up 31 points last week. So I think you're in the mix of a perfect storm here. An Atlanta offense that's been better than what people expected. Coming into a bad spot here. I'm very curious to see what the young guys like Drake London, Tyler Algier, and Kyle Pitts have to do for this Atlanta offense. I think that's their future. In a big quarterback draft class, I think they can almost get their guy coming up and really have this full offense rebuilt, but bad place, bad time for Atlanta, 35-10 Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'll keep it short. This is just such a get right game. I think more offensively for the Bucs. Like you guys said, I think they got put up 30. And the issue is the Falcons run the ball, and you see the Bucs defense struggle against very good passing attacks, but they don't struggle against teams that can't throw the ball very well. And the Falcons haven't thrown the ball very well. I feel like every year the Bucs blow out a few bad divisional teams at home since Tom Brady started. This is that game. I do like the over. I think the Falcons will score enough to push this over above, but I'm with you guys. Bucs big here. I'm going to go 35-17 Tampa.
Yeah.
The Bucks, baby.
Brady's got to figure it out eventually offensively, right? Come on.
It all
It's
scares me how much you're all thinking Texas is going to blow the fuck out.
Yeah. Yeah, but Tampa has those games every year, dude. They really do.
Yeah, they do.
Brady does. He just at home divisional game he puts up 40. Like it just happens.
Yeah. All right. Detroit at New England here. New England 3.5-point favorites at home, over under 45.5. And well, if I'm gonna take my upset this week, I'm gonna say right off the bat, I'm gonna take Detroit to win this game out right here. It does seem like Mac Jones did practice today. Maybe New England does have him back. Hopefully they do have him back ready to play. But with that said, I thought New England's backbone was their defense, and their defense really hasn't been as great as I thought it would. Their offense scoring points with God knows what the fuck's his name was, that quarterback, was impressive. It was actually the best offense I've seen from them all season. But just watching both these teams play so far this year, Detroit's offense has been phenomenal. A lot of questions on the defense, and I'm still not trusting New England's offense to get enough done against that Detroit's defense. And I've seen enough from Detroit's offense where they could actually beat a Belichick defense. So this is my upset pick of the week. I think Detroit's to go on the road to Foxborough here, find a way, get the win outright. I still have a lot of questions with New England, and Detroit, who's been this somehow Detroit has won 3 games last year, only has 1 win this year, and is still this up and coming team. And I'm still the sucker buying into that, but give me Detroit on the road to get the job done here, 23-20.
Yeah, I'm not buying if they're going to come out with this, but I mean, if the Lions are getting a 3.5 hook, it just seems like they lose heartbreakers by a field goal every fucking week. So I'm going to take that. I mean, either way, they lose a heartbreaker or they find a way to win. The Pats are just not offensively a good team. They don't have it. And I mean, they looked decent last week, but I just don't see it. I could see them having some success, and the Lions can't really stop anybody defensively, but they can score like crazy. I think the Pats will win this game. The Lions lose another heartbreaker. Wouldn't be shocked if they came into New England and won the game. But I am gonna go with some points, but I just feel like Detroit's gonna lose a heartbreaker, so I'm gonna go 27-24. They cover. New England wins though.
Once again, going against you guys, taking the Pats. I don't trust. I mean, I trust the Patriots at home here and their defense. The Lions, like we said, probably the worst defense in the league. We can agree on that. And their offense has looked fantastic. But I think if they don't have DeAndre Swift and Amon-Ra St. Brown this week, I think it's going to matter this week. They're not playing Seattle at home in Detroit. They're playing Bill Belichick in New England, who damn near almost just went to Lambeau and won. I think the Lions offense, they're going to have the worst game of the season this week. And I think the Patriots, we always bash on their defense, or their offense, but they put up 50 points over the last 2 weeks, playing probably the worst, defense in the league at home. I think the Patriots are going to be able to score. I don't think the Lions are going to be able to score. So give me the Pats, even with the hook. I'm going to go 27-17.
So quick story about.
I can tell you one thing right now. I'm staying a mile away from this game.
Yes, I agree. Dude, listen to this. So last week, my buddy Luke from school, I don't know if he listens to the pod, but anyway, he throws in our group Sunday morning, mortal lock, Lions, Seahawks, first half under. And it was done within 3 possessions, and it ended up being 48-45, right? Yeah, and I was just like, the all day I was chirping him about that under. He was like so set on it. Terrible bet.
I mean, everyone was out for the Lions, so everyone was like, yeah, under.
Yeah, exactly.
Game scares me, but
I might have just talked myself into really liking the Patriots.
Yeah, I think you did, Jazz. Look
I think
it
I
up.
did.
that's how I make half my bets during the week. Like that's what I mean. Like whenever we record this, I always look at lines, get an idea. I really don't know what I like or what I want to play until I start walking it out loud.
Yeah.
Fair, very fair.
And to be honest, I like the Lions to find a way to win outright, but that game from the get-go, the second I saw it, is always scaring the shit out of me. Because I think the Lions are the better team, but you bought it up when it's all said and done. Am I the fucking bet Dan Campbell over Bill Belichick? Like,
Yeah, like I think that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And the Patriots ain't lose 3 straight games.
Yeah, no, they need a win. At home, they need a win.
yeah. All right, let's get to our Titans, Chaz. Titans 2.5-point road favorites in Washington, over under 42.5. And well, Titans are back to 2-2 and just doing what they seem to be doing every year. Like, hey, let's go win some games. People start buying into us. People start talking. I don't care if the fucking Titans get till 10-2. I'm never gonna fucking buy into them. Fuck that team. Fuck them. With that said, too, when you look at Washington, the Commanders here, Carson Wentz has had 2 very good games to start the season against some rather weak defenses before running into Philly and Dallas, 2 of the better defenses in the league. And, well, when you look at Tennessee, they got some problems when it comes to defending the pass. I'm pretty sure their pass defense is ranked somewhere outside the top 25 in football, somewhere up there in that range. And I think Carson Wentz has the door open to kind of get back on track, have a good game here. So me doing my thing, my refusal to pick the Titans, I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with the Commanders to get a win here. Carson Wentz to go back to his first 2-week form where he had, 7 touchdown passes in the first 2 weeks. I think he's going to be able to throw 2 or 3 here. I think he's going to be able to get a job done. Hopefully the Commanders could kind of slow Derrick Henry again and make me look right here. I'll take Washington to win this one at home. I'll go 24-21.
Yeah, no, I mean, Gank, I'm with you. I'm starting to feel like I feel Carson Wentz is that Kirk Cousins guy where against a bad defense, he'll score and put up points and make you think maybe he is good. And then he faces a good front seven. He just is terrible. I mean, and like they're saying the Commanders' offensive line is bad and it's probably not great, but this is a common theme with Wentz. He doesn't get rid of the ball and he fumbles way too much. That being said, I kind of like the over in this game because I do think the Commanders find a way to score some points and the Titans have looked good against going to be a bad defense in the Commanders. This is a little bit of a stay away for me because 2 inconsistent teams, but I'm going to take the Commanders to win this game outright. I do like some points. I think it'll be fun to watch, but I wouldn't bet it because these teams are way too inconsistent. I think the best bet here is the over. I'm going to go 27-24 Commanders.
Yeah, I'm going to keep this quick because I think you guys know what's coming. Commanders money line over. Fuck the Titans. Commanders 24-14.
The Titans can literally win the next 7 or 8 games. I mean, Chaz just still won't pick them.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. They will not. I mean, you guys were right when they were the 1 seed, though. You were right.
Oh, why does they keep doing what they're doing? They could go get the 1 seed in the AFC. Me and Chaz will pick
the AFC South is just like, I mean,
yeah. They beat the Patriots in the playoffs 1 time, and everybody fucking dove right in. And that's all it is. Let's not forget the Giants went on the road and beat them.
the Titans are not good. I mean,
No,
like
yeah,
we've seen the Colts.
I'm not arguing that. Yeah,
Like
just,
the Colts are not.
yeah, but
obviously good
Washington's
right now.
terrible too.
Let me
They're both
rephrase
bad.
this.
I mean, the Titans beat the Jags, and the Jags looks like a good win right now.
I think the Jags are overhyped. right
I
now.
do too,
I
but
think the Jags are obviously much improved. I think that's a given. I think they're overhyped right now. Let me rephrase the Titan thing too. Giants went on the road, were down 13-0 at the half, and beat the Titans. Like that's the type of team you have.
yeah, I mean the Titans beat the Raiders at home, who were winless, and barely beat them. And
The Colts.
so,
My damn Colts.
I mean,
Thanks.
just the letdown Colts. So
All right. Big letdown, Colts. It's got to be a letdown team every year. I think I might pick the wrong one. Get it going. Chargers heading to Cleveland. Cleveland, 2.5-point home dogs here, over under 47.5. Adam, I bet I took the Browns against you last week against Atlanta. That obviously proved to backfire. With that said, I am not taking the Browns this week. I'm taking the Chargers to go on the road, cover this 2.5 here. I think the Browns were a team where I picked my locks last week. I did take the under in the game that involved Atlanta, another game I got written down here, Tampa and Atlanta, and I did get the job done for that. But when it's all said and done, this Cleveland defense, a lot of injuries starting to show, not as good as I thought, and somehow, some way, a Cleveland team that I thought would be run the ball, play good defense football, seems to find themselves in some types of shootout every way. As much as it's Sunday when Nick Chubb runs for 100 yards and score touchdowns, because that seems to be pretty fucking automatic. I see that meme everywhere, and it's just true. I don't know how much I trust this team. The Chargers defense is banged up. I still buy the Chargers to win the AFC West. Their injuries, their Rashawn Slater at the left tackle on offense hurts, but their defense will get healthy. I think the Chargers are a team that as the season goes on, you're not going to want to see in December. And even right now, I still think they're a very good team. So I think they take care of a Cleveland Brown team that's struggling on defense. I don't think you want to be struggling on defense when you play Justin Herbert and the Chargers go on the road, take care of business here, and get the job done. I'll go Chargers 28-20.
Yeah, I mean, I am just completely with you, Gank. I wish I locked the Chargers last week because I knew they're gonna have a get right game and put up a lot of points. And I think that they're gonna put up a lot of points again. I mean, Herbert looked good. The Browns defense, like you said, isn't very good. I think the Browns keep it close because they just can score offensively and they'll be able to run the ball. Joey Bosa is out for 8 to 10 weeks or something like that, I think I saw. And the Chargers defense just consistently is underwhelmed recently. So I'm going to take them to win. I like some points in this, but I just think Herbert has a day and he kind of starts to find his groove this year. Keenan or not, I think he's going to have a big day. So I'm going to go 30-23 Chargers.
yeah, I'm right with you. This is a weird line. It kind of feels a little trappy, but I'm going to take the trap. I think the Chargers win here, and I think there are points. I mean, Jacoby Brissett is actually playing pretty good for the Browns, and trying to keep them afloat until the massage man gets back. But I think the Chargers here just get it done. I mean, they were my pick to win the West, and I mean they got to keep up with the Chiefs who are rolling. So I think the Chargers get it done here. I'll take the points. Let's go Chargers 33-23.
What a score.
Wow,
What a
yeah.
score. Love that. All right. 4:00 swing of games here. Carolina somehow hosting these 4:00 games here. Carolina home, 6.5-point dogs against the 49ers. Whopping total of over under 38.5. And well, this spread in line says it all. I'll try to be quick here because I truthfully don't know, but because of that total and everything, and I don't think Carolina's defense is the worst. I think San Fran having to travel east right here. I'll take Carolina to cover 6.5. San Fran's going to win the game. Jimmy G, I think, is starting to prove that he is a better option than Trey Lance. He made the conference championship game last year. Why not keep him going? Why not get him going? Deebo Samuel finally starting to, as he's been pretty decent all year, but really starting to get going last week. But that said, I think Carolina evens backdoor could find a way to cover this. Hopefully, Christian McCaffrey keeps doing what he's doing. You throw him the ball because that's your best offense when you can throw him the ball. And the game's just too low scoring for me for anybody to honestly win by a touchdown. So I'll take San Fran, go on the road, get the job done here. I'll take Carolina to cover. I will go 17-13.
Yeah, I'll be quick. I mean, over under says it all here. Panthers defense isn't bad. I hate on the Panthers a lot, but their defense is really not terrible. I will say the Niners defense looks like it's getting back to almost Super Bowl form with how good it looks. I mean, they are the real deal in that front four and front seven. If they're going to get pressure like they did in the front four, I think the Rams have a bad offensive line this year, but if they keep that going, man, they're going to be tough to beat with Jimmy G if he hasn't turned the ball over. The guy wins games when he's healthy. I'm going to take the Niners to win this game. Low scoring. I do like the Panthers to cover because it's a few too many points. I'm going to go 16-10 San Fran.
Thrilling scores there. I'm again, I'm gonna be by myself here with the Niners to cover. I mean,
Wow.
the Panthers
Yeah,
just scored
there's a lot.
The Panthers just scored 16 points at home against the Cardinals defense. They also scored 16 points against the Giants. It's not a huge knock against the Yank with the Giants defense, but like this Panthers offense isn't good, and they really can't score. And when you have coming off a horrible loss against the Cardinals, now you get the Niners coming in, who, like AT said, their defense just looks really good. And even when they allowed good drives the other night against the Rams, they didn't, the bend don't break thing. Like they made them settle for field goals. And I mean, I just don't think the Panthers are gonna be able to score here. I almost want to pick them to get shut out, but I'm not going to do that. I also saw, which is something absurd, Matt Rule in his time in Carolina is 1-26 if the opposing team scores more than 17 or more points.
So, I mean, his record is horrible in the 2.5 seasons he's been there.
1-26 if the opposing team scores 17 points. So let's keep that going this week. Niners score 20. I'm going to go Niners win 20-6.
Jesus.
To be fair, I don't want to. I wouldn't bet this game. I could see the Niners pulling them out. Yeah, I'm not. It's just
No, it's one of those I probably wouldn't bet.
Yeah.
If I do bet, I'm throwing the Niners money line in a parlay. But
Yeah, there you go.
that's a wild fucking stat.
Yeah.
Bro, his record as a head coach of the Panthers is terrible.
Horrible. It's horrible.
It's not good at all.
Yeah. No, it's not. I thought he was a terrible hire. And
Yeah, I think a lot of people thought that.
it's funny. So me, Jack, and Dan are recording. I went to West Virginia with Dan. And us West Virginia people, we don't care for our head coach too much. We saw what Matt Rule did to Baylor, how he turned them around. Us West Virginia people are ready for the Panthers to fire Matt Rule because we would love for him to come back to college football and take us over, but he needs to get out of the NFL.
He's a good college football coach. It's just
I
not.
loved him in college. The second he signed the NFL, I hated him, but if it does work out, West Virginia fires their coach, Matt Rule gets fired from the Panthers, I would love for him to come to West Virginia. So I will keep that door open, but we'll see. All right. 2 4-25 games. Both involve NFC East teams. Both very intriguing to me. And the first one we're going to talk about here, Eagles are 5.5 point favorites heading to Arizona. Over under 48.5, which, believe it or not, boys, I believe that 48.5 number is the highest total we have all week. I don't think we have a single game in the 50s. Keep that all in mind. I'm just saying, go through the list as we've been going through. I can see the rest right now. I'm pretty sure that's the highest number I read. I looked very briefly. I thought I told myself that was the case too. Correct me if I'm wrong if you guys want to look. But with that said, just kind of shows where the NFL we're in. We don't know what's going on. We're used to, a couple of years ago, we seen over-unders pushing the 60s. Now we can't even get one in the 50s. It just shows how much the NFL can change season to season. But with that said, we've all been very high on the Eagles coming in. And as a Giants fan, I hate to say this, I've loved the Eagles coming in, but I'm gonna say this right now. I will not lock it because I will not bet against the Eagles, but I'm picking them to get their first loss of the season right here. I think the Eagles, as great as they've been, as fine as they will be as the season has gone along, this is their toughest test here. I feel like no team should be undefeated right now in the NFL the way the season's going. You know, the last time they played an offense this good, shockingly, was Detroit, and that game was 38-35. And going to Arizona here is going to be tough. I think Arizona's offense actually does enough against an Eagles defense that I love to figure it out, get enough done. I think this is a fun shootout game. The Eagles will be more than fine. Sorry, Eagle fans, don't take this loss personal. You're not fucking going 17-0 in anyway. Like, this is a game where I feel like this is a spot where I feel like you could lose. You'll get it right back. You'll be fine. You'll win the NFC East. You may even still get the 1 seed in the NFC, but give me the Cards to win this outright 27-24.
Yeah, Gank, I'm shocked because I'm actually with you, man. I agree. I definitely think that the Cardinals are going to cover these 5.5 because the Eagles are due for a little bit of a test, and their defense has looked good against, at home or against kind of bad teams. Their defense hasn't really been tested on the road yet. And with a mobile quarterback like this seems like that might be one of those games where they do get tested. I hate the Cardinals. I don't like Cliff Kingsbury, but I actually think that they're going to win this game. At the very least, it's a field goal win for the Eagles, so I think they're definitely going to cover. It's just one of those games where the Eagles might come out a little flat away. It's just, they're just kind of due for a close one like that, and I think the Cardinals find a way to win this one, and at the very least cover. So if they're going to cover, might as well just take them to win. I don't think as many points as you have, but I like the Cards here. I'm going to go 24-21 Arizona.
We all agree on something. It's very weird. I am actually shocked. I thought I was going to take the Cardinals to win this game, and obviously cover. But I'm going to take them to win. Yeah, I thought I was going to be the only one. I think this is. I mean, you can't draw up a better letdown spot than right here.
Yep.
I mean, the Eagles come from behind last week in the rain. Right, everyone's going crazy. Miles Sanders looked great. They're undefeated, last undefeated team. They play the Cardinals, who've not been, very good to start. And everyone, and I was listening to the radio today going to work. Everybody for Philly radio is talking about next Sunday's game. They play Sunday Night Football against the Cowboys, and it's kind of a look ahead spot where they are so worried about if they're going to be playing Dak or Cooper Rush, and they got a game they got to go cross country for here to go play the Cardinals. And I mean, I'm still a believer in the Cardinals, offense. And I think here at home, I think this over under is justifiable. I think the points are going to fly. Eagles get their first loss. I'm with you, Gank. They're going to be completely fine. But this is just a tough spot. They come back home next week and probably beat up on Dallas. But in this spot, give me definitely 5.5. Give me the Cardinals to win. I'm going to go 30-23 Arizona. It's all right, Philly, though. The baseball team will beat the Cardinals this weekend.
There you go, baby. There you go.
A little hum.
Let's go, Phils.
Wow, I was just gonna say, you hit it right on the head. I thought I was right to be the only one to pick the Cardinals to win out right here.
I'm shocked.
Yeah. Here we
I mean,
go.
if I'm on the Cardinals, it's something.
And I really like it that Adam's on. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Adam, I'm gonna let you take this one first because I'll follow you. I'm just curious here. Our team involved in the NFC East, also a 5.5 point spread. Dallas get 5.5 point underdogs here, heading to LA to play the Rams. Over under 43.5. Where are you going with this one?
Yeah, so I do like the Cowboys to cover this 5.5. I see it a field goal game. I think the Rams are going to win, though. The issue with the Rams is their offensive line gets bullied with good D lines, and we've seen that for years, honestly. And this seems like one of the worst offensive lines they've had. I don't think this is a pretty game for them. I think offensively they struggle, but their D line takes over the Cowboys O-line a little bit. The Cooper Rush is due to look a little bit, kind of struggling. The Rams just got embarrassed in San Fran. They come back home. I think their record under losses with McVay is like crazy, if I'm not mistaken. So I just feel like they find a way to win here. I don't think that they blow the Cowboys out by any means. I think the Cowboys do cover this. But I just think they make Cooper Rush look like a backup a little bit, stir some controversy up in Dallas. And the Rams will find a way to win this one because they win the games like this if they need to. I'm going to go 2017 LA.
This is surrounded by the NFC East some life back and maybe get this division interesting because I'm going to take Dallas to win this game outright. I mean, you're talking them at home, but there's one thing we know about the Chargers and Rams in home games. They don't really have home games, and Dallas is a team that's going to travel. That's a fucking Dallas home game this Sunday coming up, especially it's Sunday. And when you have a front seven, as you also said, Adam, against that Rams offensive line that's bad, like that Dallas front seven is about to eat Matt Stafford and that team alive, to be honest. I actually think the Rams match up terribly against this Dallas team. We see it against San Fran. I almost think San Fran's kind of like, I almost think Dallas is a little bit poorer version than San Fran, where Dallas's defense can eat you up. San Fran's just do it better. And while Kyle Shanahan is the better offensive genius, Dallas has the pieces to kind of beat you with basics when it comes to running the ball. If you want to dig at the CD, let him run. He can maybe do that this week. I think it's a brutal matchup for the Rams. I think this is a Dallas home game in LA when it's all said and done. And I think actually Dallas team I sold off after week one that I said last week I need to jump back on, finds a way to get the job done here against the Rams. I think they win this outright 20-17.
I'm not going to take Dallas outright, but I'm going to take the boys here to cover 5.5. And yeah, you just said it. I think they are. When I literally saw this, I thought of the Niners and the Rams, and what we just saw on Monday night. And I mean, it really looks the same when it comes to the defense for Dallas and the Niners. The Rams are going to struggle to score points, and I think that's really what it comes down to. I think it's going to be low scoring, but I think Dallas's defense will keep them in it. They'll get to Matthew Stafford, and we saw it last week. I mean, Stafford turns the football over. It might not be Cooper Rush that's making long drives down the field against the Rams. It might be a turnover that Stafford puts Dallas in the red zone, and it leads to 3 points or 7 points or whatever it is. But I'm with you guys. I think Dallas covers this low scoring. I'll give the Rams, to win it. I'm not going to go Dallas money line. Wouldn't be shocked though. Like the boldness gang, I'll go Rams to win 20-17.
Yeah, no, the Rams are in trouble, and this is a bad matchup for them. I agree. I think they just got blown out, so they're going to bounce back this week, but we'll see.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. But
in this wild NFL season, the Rams are actually one of my disappointments. No, off the Super Bowl, I actually thought they got better, and obviously they haven't. Like, maybe it's a hangover. The season's very young. Maybe they'll figure it out, but they got a lot of problems right now that they never had last year. So
yeah, I don't get why they don't involve Robinson at all either. I don't understand why you signed him to that big deal to just not give him the ball.
There's just something. Do you see the fucking fan that ran on the fields trying to file a police report against Bobby?
Yes.
so,
It's
what do we do?
What the hell
It's
is
just
he
like-
on in that?
dude, what a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
Guy got fucking lit up.
Yeah, he did. It was awesome.
Got popped. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Get off the field, idiot.
I don't know about you guys. I'm a firm believer in watching the Manning cast when they're on Monday Night Football. And
I gotta watch it. I don't usually.
I don't
but
think I've
should.
ever watched it.
it's trash. It's weird. Give it time. Because when it first became a thing last year during the first week, I turned it on, couldn't watch more than like 15, 20 minutes of it and turn it off. Went weeks without it. And then eventually turned back to it, slowly started sticking to it. and you realize just how ridiculous and hilarious it is. And all the people that bring on are like A-listers too. And you still
Yeah.
get a good view of the game. They're still quarterbacks too. They honestly break it down better than as much as I actually love Joe Buck. No, Joe Buck's hated by much. As much as I actually love Joe Buck, like they really break down the game if you know football better than you can know. I think it's worth it. Um, it's tough at first because it almost looks uncomfortable for both of them when you're watching it, but it's worth your watch if you do the Manning cast.
Well, Monday night finally got good guys. They got Joe Buck, Trey. I mean, I don't like Traven, but Joe Buck's good.
Yeah. You're one of the few people that's always liked Joe Buck with me.
I like Joe Buck. I mean, he's good. He doesn't try to be too much. He just does his job.
I think Joe Buck's the best at what he does, personally. All right, Chaz. Let's get into your game because this is massive for you. I know you're thinking about it. It's Sunday Night Football prime time. Your Ravens 3-point favorites at home. Another over-under at 48.5 here. I just realized the Monday night game we'll get to next is actually the highest one, but the Ravens Bengals are up there. Your Ravens at home. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I saw a stat today. The Ravens are 2-2 and have trailed for a total of 14 seconds this year.
I saw that.
That's correct. That is correct. And I mean, really impressive stat.
Oh, yeah, you almost have to be impressed at how they found a way to do that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, listen, the Ravens, they were my Super Bowl pick for the year. Easily could be 4-0. And I mean, Adam texted me as soon as that game was over, and I told him I wasn't even surprised. Like as soon as they didn't kick that field goal, which I honestly didn't hate the decision because you have Josh Allen on the other side and that defense. But as soon as they didn't get that, I was like, oh well, they lost. And I mean, the Bills kicked the field goal from the 2-yard line, so like even if they did kick the field goal, they would have scored anyway. So I mean, they lost that game when they didn't score a touchdown. But I mean, the first half of that game, they looked like the best team in football. Second half of that game, the thing with them is they go up and then they just stop playing aggressively and their defense sits back. And I mean, it didn't work against the Dolphins. So I don't know why the hell they did it again against the Bills. But I mean, listen, prime time here against the Bengals, a team that, I mean, demolished the Ravens last year. They went 2-0. Burrow threw for over 900 yards, 7 touchdowns, I think, in 2 games against them. I mean, crazy stats, but obviously, the Ravens defense was all sorts of banged up last year. The secondary still isn't playing great this year, but if they want to win this game, they have to maintain the Bengals in some sort. So I actually think this game goes under because I'm going to take the Ravens to win and cover. I think they just simply have to have it, especially if they want to win the division. You got to win your home game against the team you're going against. And I mean, I can't watch another collapse. So I really just need them to get a lead here and hold on to it for once. It's going to be a really stressful night once again, especially if you throw the Phillies on top of it if they're playing too. But give me the Ravens to win, cover. I'll go under Ravens 24-20.
All right. Well, first off, I think your under is insane.
Insane.
Second of all, Chaz, this may be the most stressful night of your life.
Oh my God, yeah.
Third of all, I think half of your night is going to be very happy because, as you said, we all love the Ravens as Super Bowl contenders. I still think they are. As much as the Bengals surprised last year, I do not buy them as Super Bowl contender this year. And the Ravens are going to get the job done at home. And what I think has a chance to be one of the better regular season football games we watched this season. I'm actually more excited for this Sunday night game than I was Mahomes versus Tom Brady this past week, to be honest. I think we got an exhilarating battle here going back and forth. But when it's all said and done, Lamar Jackson has been balling. And truthfully, as the season goes on, if Lamar keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to win the MVP over Josh Allen. He's going to get his second. And this Bengals defense that has looked pretty decent so far, Lamar's about to beat them and expose the fuck out of them because they haven't seen a Lamar type quarterback yet. And while I think the Bengals offense is getting going, and this is why I think they could answer because the Ravens secondary has always been in question, they ain't going into Baltimore prime time here. Lamar himself is not going to let them win this game. This is where he's going to prove his MVP case. I think we have one of the most fun football games we're going to watch. Count all 18 weeks this season. I think this game's going to finish as top 5, but the Ravens are they cover the 3 points here when it's all said and done. Give me the Ravens to win this one 35-31.
So I do love the over. I hate this line. I think the Ravens, I'm with you. This is just a game the Ravens know they have to have. And Gang made a great point. Had the defenses made 2 stops or their offense put in 1 fourth quarter, Lamar would be the head MVP guy. They're 4-0. It'd be Lamar's year. So I think the Bengals are actually going to cover this. I think that Justin Tucker is going to kick a game-winning field goal. 30-28, Ravens win as time expires. So the Bengals do cover, but the Ravens will win. I did see a concerning stat that Lamar in the 4th quarter has like no touchdown passes and 3 picks so far this year. So that's concerning, but I think that's more of just the defense giving up a bunch of points and he's trying to put the team on his back. I agree. Fun football game. I'm excited to watch it. Chaz, you're going to be sweating if the Phils are playing too. So I'm going to go. But 30-28 Ravens, I think they'll at least take care of business for you.
I truly believe this Bengals-Ravens game is, like I said, it's week 5. There's a lot of time for, like, stuff to happen. But week 5, first quarter of the season, I think this Ravens-Bengals game is about to give us the best game of the season. And Chas, I think you'll be happy in the end. But I think
I'm hoping so. But
I am hyped for this one. Like I said, I am more hyped for it than I was Brady versus Mahomes. I think it's about to give us a fucking thriller this week, Sunday night, and I can't wait for it.
It's just really unsettling. Like if the Ravens go up, 24-3, I can't even be like, got it in the wrap.
No.
They went up 20-3 last week, and I was like, wow, they look really good. And then the second half happened, and I mean, it's brutal.
First off, before we go into Monday night, do you guys see what Gonzo's picking next week right now on an early line?
Oh, did you guys look?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's an electric game, baby.
Jesus Christ. I might give Gonzo might be on a bye next
week. Yeah, don't make him do that.
Yeah, we'll get into that next show, but let's get into Monday night here. This is my mistake. This is the highest over-under of the week. Didn't dip down to the Monday night game, but this one's over-under at 51.5 and consists of 2 AFC West teams, of course. Vegas heading to KC. Chiefs 7.5-point favorites at home. And I'm going to say this right off the bat. I'm definitely taking the Raiders to cover 7.5. The Chiefs are obviously very good. I mentioned it earlier. I still like the Chargers to find a way to win this division when it's all said and done. The Chiefs are going to make the playoffs. So the fucking Chiefs. You put Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes together, they're going to find a way. But something about this Chiefs team that still doesn't have me sold. Their defense still has a lot of question marks. Derek Carr, like Aaron Rodgers, I don't even want to say breakout games because Derek Carr has had multiple 290-plus, 2+ touchdown games. But we saw Tampa Bay, Tom Brady finally broke out of their offensive slump against the Chiefs. I think Derek Carr could kind of do the same, even though he's having big numbers this year, could figure out a way. And I won't be surprised if the Raiders do find a way to win this game outright because I think the Chiefs defense is to struggle that much. But the bottom line is this game's in Kansas City, and Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid say keep doing their thing. So they will find a way to win it at the end. 7.5 in a divisional game like this. These two teams know each other. I will never take the Chiefs to cover 7.5. I don't give a fuck if they're home or not, but I think this is a fun Monday night football game to follow up this Sunday night football game we have. Don't think it's as exhilarating as we get from the Bengals and Ravens there, but I do think we get a fun game here. Give me the Chiefs to cover or the Raiders to cover, Chiefs to win. I'll go 28-24.
Yeah, I mean, these are two teams I like always bet the over on. So I'm gonna stick
Oh,
with that.
Adam and the Chiefs and the over. That's
And the
Yeah,
Raiders.
honestly, the Raiders are my second team with the over, Cardinals as well. But I like the over, and this hook scares me. I think the Chiefs are going to cover, man. I really do. I think that offensively they're going to put on a clinic.
do we want to bet Monday night? We only disagreed on one another.
Maybe let me see what the other probably honestly. I truly think that the Raiders defense is terrible. I think the Chiefs are going to have one of those offensive nights where they go like 7 touchdowns or something like that, or like 7 possessions, 6 touchdowns and a field goal. Raiders aren't a bad team. They're going to keep it close, but I just feel like I see the Chiefs win this game by 8 to 10 points at home in Las Vegas. Clearly from story, but to me, the Chiefs put up a ton of points. I like them to win and cover here. I'm going to go 35-24 Kansas City.
I'm a gank here. I'm going to take the Raiders to cover. I think this is a very public overreaction bet from everyone of last week's Chiefs game in Tampa, where they had what you just said, Adam, where they scored. It felt like, and it might have been every single possession, other than Patrick Mahomes' pick they threw late. But I mean, they literally couldn't be stopped against number one defense, and I think everyone's going to be saying that they're going to put up 40 against the Raiders. But the Raiders last week had a good win at home against Denver, who obviously Denver hasn't looked great, but the Raiders got back on track. They finally established a run game for once, and it worked out for them. So I think they continue with that. Not having Derek Carr throw the ball 60 times a game helps your offense. And the Raiders learned that last week. So I think they keep it close. I like the points with you guys, but I'm going to take the Raiders, plus the 7.5 in a divisional game. So I'll take the Chiefs to win, though. Give me the points. I'll go 30-27 Chiefs.
Travis, I feel like that's the first time all fucking episode that
We agreed.
we agreed on something, and
Yeah.
Adam agreed on everything. He didn't go against us.
I know.
Yeah, that might have been the only time it was me.
That was a rare
Oh.
episode. How much?
Yeah. You don't see that a lot.
Very rare. Me and Adam agree that much, and Travis is against us.
Yeah, I'm solo on a lot
Yes.
of these.
Yeah, you don't see that. Curious to see how this again. What was the only other thing we?
It's actually me and Chaz agreeing, and you against us.
Oh yeah, that's definitely the most common, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually doesn't work out for me either.
Usually, besides me and Gak on that one.
Yeah, no, it does. It does. Yeah, it definitely does. That's why when I hear that, I don't like to bet that. What's the only other thing we disagreed on, gang? The
All right,
Texans,
so-
Jags.
I think it was Texans Drags. Yeah, because your boy Doug Peterson.
Oh yeah.
So it was that or this game.
Or I think I took Denver with Gonzo. So
No, I bet against Gonzo. We're 2-2. We're 2-2. We got to come to an agreement here. I know.
this has to be the neutral. Oh yeah. All right. I would rather the Jag. I'd prefer not to give you that hook of 7.5.
So I got the Texans plus 7.
Oh, Gank love that.
Well, Gank,
Okay.
you just get okay. We're doing that. Yeah, you're good with that.
Well, I thought you said you were rather a Jags. Did I hear that wrong?
I would rather the Jags. Yes.
Yeah, I'll take Houston plus 7.
Beautiful.
Yes, I'm completely content with that.
Me and
There you
Gank
go.
against Adam.
All right, let's go to the locks. Boys, I got my 3 written down, so I'll know where you're going, but I ain't changing my mind. I've been writing as the show's been going on and finished it up literally all of 20 seconds ago. The start with Miami and the Jets over 45.5. I think that game.
Damn it.
Sorry, Adam. I think that
Yeah.
game turns into a shootout. I think Teddy and Miami's offense is about to have a game. We've seen the Jets could actually find a way to score points. I'm actually doing a couple over-unders here to start because I'm 4-8, and I'm pretty sure at least 3, if not all 4 of my wins have come in betting totals. I need to stay away from spreads. So I'm going to try to mix something up, even though I do have one spread here. Second one, we're going New Orleans, Seattle. I'm going under 45.5, actually, as much as I think New Orleans maybe can score at home. I'm not trusting Seattle to get enough points, and I don't trust New Orleans to even get more than 27. If that's the case, even if Seattle gets 17, I'm still under there. So I love that number. And third and final, I didn't think I was going to do it, but we're all on it. I heard enough. I'm taking Arizona plus 5.5.
Fuck.
Took a few, gang. Took a few. We agreed a lot this week, so I'm not surprised. All right. We're gonna start with Chargers minus 2.5. I just see that at the very least, the Chargers win by a field goal there. And I like the way Herbert's playing. Next, we are gonna go down to Tampa. I'm gonna take the Bucks minus 9. I said it 3 times on this show. I truly think Brady has these games, home divisional games. He just goes off, and this is just one of them. So Bucks minus 9, Chargers minus 2.5. And now I'm a little torn on these overs because I love 2 of them. Actually, I love like 4 of them. I am gonna go.
Do the Houston one.
Oh, no, you can have that one. Or Chaz can have that one if he wants. I am gonna go over 48.5 Bengals Ravens. Joe Burrow has put up 41 points, I think, the last 2 times he played the Ravens. And I think Chaz is just hoping that it's an under because it suits him better as a Ravens fan. I'm taking that over 48.5.
Yeah, I hope that one's wrong.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got left here. All right, well, I said I talked myself into it, so I'm going to start with New England minus 3.5. You guys aren't going to like a lot of mine since I disagreed with you. So,
Guys, you talked me into not taking Detroit plus 3.
Yes.
All
No,
right, cool.
you did it. I agree. Yeah.
all right, cool.
Yeah.
That makes you feel better. Second, I mean, I'm gonna fade them again. Let's take the Commanders plus 2.5
Wow.
at home, getting 2.5. I'll take it.
I don't know who
They can
hates
last.
the Titans. Who hates the Titans more, Chaz or Gank? I don't know.
I think me.
Chaz is hating them longer, that's for sure.
That's fair. That's fair. Yes, that's
It
fair.
stems from the Ravens. Yeah. So,
Yeah. That's true.
all right, and then lastly, I really want that Cardinals one, Gank.
I convinced myself as I kept going that it just needs to be though.
Yeah. Good. This is going to be ugly, but I'm doing it. Under 38.5 Niners.
I knew he
Panthers.
was doing it. I knew it when he said that. I knew he was doing it. I thought about that one too. If Baker
Oh,
Mayfield gets a
God,
back,
that's going to hit in the first half. It'll be like 20-10.
Watch
I mean-
Baker hit it like an end backdoor cover.
I mean, you win by 1.5 here. Does that game really have a higher ceiling than like 2017?
I can't. I mean, I don't know. That's it. But
Yeah, I agree.
God, it's so gross.
I need a fucking sweep.
Yeah, come on,
Yeah.
Gank. The
Well,
one
I love
hole-
the Arizona one, so I think
Yeah, no, I liked
feel
all your
confident with
bets.
that one.
Even 2-1, something like
But you'll find your stride, Gank. You just got to get a little hot in a couple weeks. That's
Yeah.
all you need.
like I said, I just picked the wrong fucking things. I don't know if you guys read the thing I put on Facebook when I write my article and do my game by game thing. I usually do it after we record this. And I always tag the fucking podcast somewhere in the video. Like, if you listen to this, there's always like 1 or 2 things I change. I'm like, if you listen to this, I said this, but as it gets closer, I'm on this. And when I do that, I do my 5 best bets and everything, and like killing it. And my picks against the spread, I'm like 5-6 games over 500 right now, like stuff like that. Can't figure it out for the pod. I will say this: my 3 locks usually always make my pick 5 though, and that just goes to show you the 3 I pick go 1-2, but I picked the other two right.
There you go. It's a winning week. Yeah.
I'm picking the wrong ones.
Well, hopefully you got the right ones this week. I like yours, so it's
Nah, yeah, Gank. I mean, you took a few that I would take. So
I thought I liked mine every week too.
that's true.
yeah, but
We all-
when
we
you're
all
picking
love ours.
when you're picking one, it's just like,
You gotta go at least 2-1.
yeah, you need that, and I think you'll get it this week.
No, I'm king of 1-2. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, though, sometimes I like picking 3 better because I will say this actually. This is the most confident picks I ever made. Like whenever I pick one, I don't write I wrote these 3 down, like these are the 3 I'm going, but I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 6 things written down. And usually when I pick 3, if not 3, at least 2 of them are left, so it forces my hand, and those are always the best. Those are always the best picks for me. Like those ones always seem to work because I have to. I don't overthink it. But
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Adam, you're killing it though. 8-4, bud.
Hey man, we're just gonna hopefully stay hot, and take it from there. I mean,
We haven't
hopefully I can get that late.
last year yet, have we?
No, I gotta look that. Hopefully I can get hot late again too, because then I'll really have a great year. I always get hot late, but I usually struggle early, so we'll see.
It's about staying hot now. It ain't getting
That's it,
hot.
baby. That's it, baby.
All right, boys. Well, week 5 pod in the fucking books.
Go Phils, baby.
Go Phils.
I mean, Yanks, but
They got off this weekend.
Yeah, they got off. No, it's Phil's weekend.
that's fair.